me tell you a story. I'm going to take you back to summer of 2017. I'm sitting in my living room with my 2 kids and my husband. So let's be honest here, 3 kids. I'm looking at these girls and think, wow, I had kids. You see, I wasn't sure if I really wanted to have kids. We were on the kid list train for many years, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to have them. I wasn't sure, though, for many reasons that most people probably wouldn't think. You see, I was petrified of gaining weight. If I go through and look through my aunts and my DNA, once you had kids, it seemed like you just gained weight, and I really wasn't ready for that. So it took me a long time to discover what I wanted to do. I had 2 beautiful girls, and then I really thought, I need to shape the mentality going forward. Who here grew up in the 80s and 90s with a diet culture obsessed mom or parent? I did for sure. We always had Weight Watchers in our house. We had Oprah's latest fad of diet in our house. We had cabbage soup diet in our house. We had everything imaginable diet in our house. I did not want to live like that. I did not want to live like that, especially with 2 girls and raising them. I wanted to raise them in a diet-free culture. So one day I am scrolling through Instagram and I stop dead tracks, which is sometimes very hard to do. And a friend of mine had done a fitness photo shoot for her 40th birthday. I was amazed at the progress she had made and the transformation she had made. At this time, I was 37 and I thought, you know what? I have 3 years until I am 40. I'm going to do this. I am going to do a fitness photo shoot for my 40th birthday. So then and there, I decided I am going to do this. I needed to forget about this self-neglect syndrome that I had. If you don't know what that is, this is the symptoms. The I don't have time for myself phase, the inner conflict phase of if I do this for me, but I should be doing something else for my family, or doing that load of laundry or the dishes or taking something somewhere or whatever it is. The guilt phase that you take to take time for yourself. How dare I? The fear of change or letting others down or failure. The not feeling healthy or great about yourself phase, because let's face it, I had just had 2 babies and really thinking about myself was not a priority. And my attitude was definitely affecting my relationships. So I reflected on this and thought, you know what, I really need to change this. So through the next 4, and let's not be kidding, up until currently this day, I moved into my 4th hood of life. As you see, I went through childhood, as we do, adulthood. I chose to go down the motherhood road, and now I'm entering my 4th and continue to work on my 4th hood, which is selfhood. I now feel great every single day. I know my self-worth, and I am proud of the progress I have made. I have self-love. I have more energy every single day, and I have better relationships with all of those that I come in contact with. So how did I go from my self-neglect syndrome to my selfhood priority? There's 6 steps that I still to this day work on and want to share these steps with you so that you can maybe make your journey on your selfhood. The first one is schedule you time. We all schedule time. We have to make those nail appointments. We have to make those hair appointments, the dentist appointments, the doctor's appointments, the whatever, get your car fixed appointments. So why can't you fix in and have the you time appointment? You see, this is where I started. In my calendar, I picked 2 mornings a week. I had put them in our family calendar with my husband, and he knew that on Tuesday and Thursday mornings, he needed to bring our girls to the day home. And those 2 mornings, I joined some girlfriends and we did fitness, aerobics classes or weight training. It didn't matter, but it was in our calendar. and I was not backing out on me. Those 2 days a week progressed over the next 3 years into 3 days a week, 4 days a week, and where I am today at 5 days a week. But I will tell you, it was not overnight success. It took time. It gradually changed year to year to year. So don't forget to schedule the you time. Don't let yourself down and don't say back out on yourself. The next phase is to take evolutionary steps. It's not all roses. You see, my photo shoot was in November 2020. So I ran into January 2020. I was doing all of the fitness things and all that. And I knew the next step I needed to work on was my nutrition. So I hired myself a nutrition coach and thought, you know what? I have 11 months to get to where I need to be. Well, we all know what happened in March 2020, and it wasn't really going to contribute to my success when gyms were closed, the world was closed. I had a 5 and a 3-year-old at home that I needed to entertain while I tried to teach on Zoom teenagers, which was not an easy step. But my nutrition coach advised me and said, you know what? This will be a great time to take time for yourself and really figure out your nutrition. You're at home, you might have a bit of extra time, and we will do this together. So I worked and I worked and I worked. This became like clockwork in our family. We had workout time at home with my 5 and 3-year-old. I changed my garage into a little gym. They would play out in the crescent and we did our things. But you see, we always, like I said earlier, we always plan those appointments. And I had a dentist appointment, August 18th, 2020. And you're probably asking yourself, how do you remember a dentist appointment that you had 4 years ago? Well, you see, in correlation with that, I also got the worst phone call of my life. My mother had just had a stroke. And 5 days later, she passed away. So not only do I have the loss of my mother, with my brother who is across the country having a baby 2 days later. And I have tiny little humans in my life that have been relying on me significantly through this pandemic. I really had to sit and reflect. And this is where my nutrition coach became a significant part of my life. I told her, I don't know what to do. I don't know. Do I keep going on this journey that I have progressed so much on and keep going and go for this photo shoot of 2020 in 4 months' time? Or do I just forget everything and all the progress that I have done and just kick back and relax and drown my feelings into a bucket of ice cream every single night? Because that is truly what I wanted to do. She said to me, the decision is up to you. I cannot tell you what to do. You need to dig down deep and figure out what it is that you want to do. So I sat and reflected for a few days. And the biggest reason I was reflecting as to why was I doing this photo shoot? Why did it have to be 2020? Why does it have to be now? Why can't it be in 3 years or whatever it was? Well, as I told you beforehand, I was so petrified of gaining weight. I wanted so badly not to become my mom, because she had significant health problems. So I really thought, you know what? I am going to continue on my journey. I am going to persevere and I am going to keep going through and take what it is and take all of the momentum and take all of this anger and frustration and everything in me, and I am going to put it into my gym time. I am going to put it into me. I am going to make myself the person that I want to be. I reflect now after I did the photo shoot and I think, how did this really impact? I'm one of those believers that everything happens for a reason. And I truly believe had I not lost my mom, and it is still the most devastating thing in my life, but I believe that that is what has brought me to where I am today. I believe that she in her ultimate being is looking over me and making the steps forward for me. So I got to a place and I did that photo shoot despite everything that had happened, but I just kept saying, I need to do this for myself. The next phase, say no, and know that no is a complete sentence. I get made fun of all the time for saying no. Do you want to go to this? No. What time does it start? At 7 o'clock? Nope, definitely not. That's way past my bedtime. Because I know that I need to do things for myself. I am an early riser. I get up at 4:45 every morning. Yes, some of you are like, oh my God. But you know what? That's my gym time. That is my me time. That is I just need to do this for me. Because if my day doesn't start like that, I get really anxious. So therefore, getting up early means going to bed early, because I also love my sleep. Sleep is also one of the big contributors to my success. But I learned to say no. I don't do many things. If things are late, forget it. The Oilers are on this great rant right now. I can't tell you how many times I've gone to bed after the first period because those beginning games of the series were on really late. But I learned to say no, and I have no problem saying no to this day. Nutrition, a big factor in our lives every day. Everything has become so quick and easy access. But one thing that we tend to neglect is protein. Even just as myself here, the snacks we had this morning, I was like, oh, there's not really any protein options right now. But you know what? Protein is one of the greatest sources of energy. The big thing about protein is that it keeps you satiated for longer. You don't get those high spikes like you do in carbohydrates. So when you're packing those snacks, because let's be honest, if you're a mom, you are a snack packer like me and you have all the things and the water and the whatever, try to incorporate a few protein options. Have some protein bars, have some beef jerky. There are things that are very easy. Take a thing of Greek yogurt that are easy to incorporate in your everyday to day-to-day life. But you know what? Just keeping those things handy are what we need to have. Think about what is going to fill you. Prepare yourself for the week. My husband and I have joined and been on this journey together. We now cook on Sunday night 3 protein options. Yes, it looks like we're cooking for a feast on Sunday night, but then we are set up ourselves for success for the rest of the week. We now have, so then when we come home to have to feed kids, to run off to soccer or ball hockey or whatever it is, we have our protein options already ready. It is just a vegetable and some kind of carbohydrate that needs to go with that. So getting those barriers out of the way. Having family conversations around food. My kids have not heard the word diet in our house, and we talk a lot about food in our house because you know what? Our food is the fuel of life, and we talk about that constantly. And I have established a great relationship, I think, with my kids and food. We know we have fun foods, we call them, and we know we have growing foods, and we talk about those things in those terms. Number 5 is open communication. You need to let others know what you are doing. Sometimes people like to be on a secret mission of getting better and stuff like that. But let me tell you, the more people you involve in your success, the more success you are going to have because they know that you are working towards a goal. I remember we had gone to Vegas right before the world shut down for my husband's 40th birthday. And my brother had joined us and they were like, oh, and we went to the hockey game. The Oilers were playing the Golden Knights and we thought, you know what, this is a great time. And my sister-in-law knew I was on this journey of getting better and working towards this thing. And she came up to me at the game and she was like, I found you the most healthiest drink I could find. I hope you enjoy it. And I was like, oh, well, thank you. And thank you for thinking of me because we don't always think about those things. I don't drink. It's not because it's just because I don't like it. But my friends and people around me know that. I will say no thank you to alcohol because I don't enjoy it. And in contributing those things and contributing those factors into your life is also what it is. The 6th thing is give yourself grace. You will have ups and downs in your life. I would like to know anybody in this room who does not have a down moment in their life. But you know what? It's how you get through those up and down moments is how your future will thank yourself. You need to make sure that when you are hitting a down moment that, okay, what is it I can do tomorrow? What is it I can do today? What is it I can do the next minute? Maybe I just need to get out of bed and go downstairs and watch a TV show. That is fine. Maybe next week I need to go and I need to go out and I need to go explore an avenue and go for a walk. then that is what you need to do. But if you try to give yourself way too many tasks to do, and you said, I'm going to change this and this and this and this and this, let me tell you, your success will not work. Change one thing at a time. Let that become the habit. Let it become the journey, the everything you need in that day, and then change something else. Like I said, I was 37 when I started this journey to 40. I had 3 years. And I knew that that still probably wasn't enough time. I probably could have done 1 more year. But I wanted to hunker down and get it done. But making sure that you give yourself grace and say, oh, you know what? Today was not a good day. Tomorrow is a new day. Don't say Monday. Don't say, oh, Wednesday or whatever day it is. It's tomorrow. Tomorrow is a new day, and tomorrow is when I'm going to start. Or tomorrow is when I'm going to get back on the train and I'm going to fill myself. So think of this. What if you prioritize your selfhood? What would come of this? What would become your future? What would happen? Would you be able to live a longer life? Would you be happier? Would you be more energetic? Are you able to build better relationships with others? Because as I discovered my selfhood, all of these things became true. I hope I will live a longer life than my mother did. I have definitely changed the path of my life choices. I hope I get to see my grandkids if I so get to have some. I hope I get to see my nieces and nephews have graduations and marriages and maybe see their kids. I am definitely much happier because I fill my bucket every day of things I love to do, which is working out. I am more energetic. I am a kindergarten teacher, and everybody who meets me says, oh my God, you are a kindergarten teacher because you have so much energy. But my energy comes from giving myself time to feel myself, to feed myself, to fuel myself. And my relationships are so much better. My kids and my husband drastically notice a change. They said, you know, like you're kind of nicer all the time. You're not kind of in this funk all the time. Or if I am in the funk, they say, Mom, go work out. Mom, go for a walk. Because they know that that is what fuels me. So my relationships have become so much better. So trust yourself. You can do this. It is a hard task. I will tell you that. It is not an easy process. But you can do it. And I leave you with this final thought of what if you simply devoted this year to loving yourself more? Thank you.